May I have your attention, please? If you have not done so at this time, please silence all cell phones and pagers, and please sign in. Thank you.
Good morning. This meeting of the Louisiana Tax Commission is hereby called to order. This meeting is being held at the offices of the Louisiana Tax Commission at 1051 North 3rd Street, Suite 225, Baton Rouge, Louisiana. The date is Wednesday, December 12, 2018, and the time is 10:01 a.m. Please call the roll.
Chairman Shahardy.
Here.
Commissioner Wagasback.
Here.
Commissioner West.
Here.
Commissioner Vercher.
Here.
Commissioner Wood.
Here.
5 present and a quorum.
Thank you. There being no old business to take up at this time, I'll accept a motion for the approval of the minutes of the December 5th, 2018 meeting.
So moved.
Second.
Commissioner Vercher.
Yes.
Commissioner Wagasback.
Yes.
Commissioner Wood.
Yes.
Commissioner West.
Yes.
And Chairman Shahardy.
Yes. We'll now consider the approval of the 2019 tax roll for the Parish of Orleans and the amended 2018 tax roll for the Parish of Bienville. Let's do Orleans first. Yes.
Phyllis King, Assistant Director, Louisiana Tax Commission. We do have the Orleans Parish tax roll for 2019. We've received the electronic roll, which Lisa has run through our program for specification as well as to verify that the total does balance with what we received from the Board of Review as well as the Finance Department. We did receive a spreadsheet from them that included all of the millages, and in that spreadsheet also included the breakdown of the real property as well as the personal property. We also have the letter from the legislative auditor and approving those millages. Therefore, staff recommends approval of the 2019 tax roll for Orleans Parish.
All right, thank you. Any questions?
Mr. Chairman, yes. If you,
Sure.
you know, Matt, are we going to come to some term on the process with Orleans in the future so we won't have?
We are hoping that what we have gone through this year will be the new procedure
And
for Orleans.
And will we have a conversation with the assessor's office or give them some guidelines so we won't?
What I'm kind of hoping, I know they do send us the spreadsheet. It's not exactly in the format everybody else does. And I know they were having issues with their programming this year. And so we are hoping that once they do get that settled, they can put that in a different format. That being said, we did at least get information that we've not gotten in the past prior to getting the roll approved.
Okay.
So that I think that is a
Well, I think what we need to
first
do
step.
is have an ongoing conversation with the city
Certainly.
to get them on board with the rest of the state.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's what we're working toward.
Right.
Like I said, the
'Cause-
report we do have does include that information, so it does balance with what they gave us rather than us backing into it at a later date.
Yeah, because if we don't continue that conversation, we're going to be back in the same position 12 months from now.
Right.
And going through this again, and we shouldn't have to do that. No other parish is having those problems. So, I'd ask you to stay on top of it, and let's
Certainly.
work with them to get them on board to be like everybody
Well,
else.
like when we start conversations with others about tax rolls, it's usually in about June, July ahead of time so that, we can stay on top of it and everything, everybody be on the same page
Right.
with any new specifications or whatever.
Okay.
And just
Correct.
keeping in mind the date, the home rule charter requires there's three different areas: your tax assessor, your finance department, and there's requirements that the city council puts on the assessor and the finance department. So they can't get the information in November. So we have to give them this December. That's what I'm trying to get us to work with them and say, within our schedule, what's our later date? Because they have.
You're talking about backing up the rolls so that they would be on time as far as the November 15th date, or?
Well,
Because,
Yeah.
the issue was they don't have the millages until December.
Right, and that's what then there's no excuse for non-compliance. If we can get get,
They
come
would
to,
back that up and do it at an earlier date.
if we could come to
I
that, then
see.
I think that would solve.
It would certainly, yeah, it absolutely certainly would help.
So that's the dialogue, and if you like, I don't know what the guidelines would be for me to be involved, but I don't want to do anything that I don't necessarily have to do, but you're communicating very well with them.
But I guess that is a question we need to ask early on, if they, can they back that up and try and get those millages done earlier?
You know, and the other problem, the other situation is that Orleans has to understand that if they've got other delays that cause them to lag behind what everyone else is doing, they've got to understand we can't approve their tax roll until we have all of the information necessary, such as the letter from the legislative auditor regarding their millages, because I think that was the last thing we were waiting on.
Absolutely.
Was that letter from the auditor's
Right.
office, because not because of the auditor, but because of the
They hadn't
city.
gotten it to her.
The auditor had not gotten it, and so we
And
can't
they can't
move
do it
forward.
until they get.
Well, I might need information from you as to who I need to contact and stay in contact with in that regard.
Well, let's start with the assessor.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, he's been a
Sounds good.
CAO, and what we got to do is have a conversation with him, saying, take off your assessor hat, give us how the city's finance structure works, so we'll know what we can do, so we won't have this quagmire at the end of the year. So,
Looks like Paul's going to be named chairman of a subcommittee.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah.
So, all right,
okay.
all right. I'm lost. Did we have a
We have not had a motion.
Do not have a motion. All right. Do we have a motion to approve the 2019 tax roll for the parish of Orleans?
So moved.
And a second?
Second it.
Commissioner Vercher?
Yes.
Commissioner Waxback?
Yes.
Commissioner Wood?
Yes.
Commissioner West?
Yes.
And Chairman Shahardy?
Yes. We'll now consider the approval of the amended 2018 tax roll for the parish of Bienville.
I did receive an amended roll from Bienville Parish. The assessor, Carol Brown, informed me that they had changed programmers this year, and while the millages were all correct and even the assessment total is correct, there were some inaccuracies in some of the calculations and therefore needed to be changed. So they did send us corrected roll and corrected paperwork, and of the changes that were actually made on the millage report included code number 22 for school district number 2, code 27 for school district 1637, code 40 for recreation district number 1, and code 50 of fire district protections number 6. I do have those noted where you sign it, so you'll see where they are. But to correct those, and we did notify Joanne, because since the millages were still the same, those had not changed, but because the taxes had changed, she does need an updated report and needs it signed for their, for her, the reports that she does for the retirement system. So,
But do we have everything we're supposed to have to be able to approve the amended roll?
we did receive a corrected electronic roll, and Lisa did run that roll, and it did pass, and then it does balance with the new paperwork that they sent.
Does the auditor have to get involved with the corrected millage or the corrections that are being made?
Because of the pension fund, and every time she mentions anything to me, she does quote a statute. So, yes.
But I mean, do we have?
We had asked them, I mean, other than the correction being in our file, it would be incorrect in our
But-
file. That is something that she said she does require.
Okay,
she needs.
but do we have from the auditor their approval
Yes.
of the amended roll? Or the amendments that are being made to the roll?
Because there were not changes to the millages she did not have to redo that letter.
Okay.
Those did not change.
It was just a calculation of how those millages apply.
And that will affect her pension report.
But that has nothing to do with us, is that?
Right.
Okay.
Correct.
So we have everything that we need from all sources, legislative audit from the assessor's office to the legislative audit to anybody in between. We have everything we need
Yes, we
in
do.
order to approve the tax roll,
Yes, we do.
amended tax roll.
And I will say that we're not signing off again on the TC 33, just the millage report, because nothing at all changed on the TC 33.
Okay.
So the only changes that are made are on the millage recap.
So basically, instead of 2 times 3, it should have been 2 times 4 in a different category or something.
Yes, absolutely, and it's
Okay.
only on those 4 items that I mentioned, and I
Okay.
do have those noted.
All
So
right.
staff.
Do you need to resend anything to the legislative auditor so they have the pension contribution corrected?
Yes, these will, once these are signed, she will receive copies of these.
Okay.
yes.
All right.
Okay. All right, do we have a motion for approval?
So moved.
Second?
Commissioner Vercher,
Yes.
Commissioner Wagstaff,
Yes.
Commissioner Wood,
Yes.
Commissioner West,
Yes.
and Chairman Short.
Yes. Next item on the docket is consideration of the adoption of the Louisiana Tax Commission 2019 Sexual Harassment Policy. If there are any questions, if there are not any questions, I'll accept the motion for approval.
I would move that we approve the 2019 sexual harassment policy.
Second.
Commissioner Vercher,
Yes.
Commissioner Wagstaff.
Yes. Yes.
Commissioner Wood,
Yes.
Commissioner West,
Yes.
and Chairman Short.
Yes. We'll now consider change orders.
Chelsea Sochet with the Louisiana Tax Commission. We have a total of 3,811 change orders for today's meeting. Staff has reviewed and recommends that the Commission place 37 in pending status and approve 3,774.
Is any of these include the backlog or is it?
I'm going to say the backlog
You have a
next.
separate-
Yeah, we'll do
Yeah.
that separately.
All right.
I would move that we accept the staff recommendations and approve 3,774 change orders and place 37 on pending status.
Second.
Commissioner Vercher,
Yes.
Commissioner Wagstaff,
Yes.
Commissioner Wood,
Yes.
Commissioner West,
Yes.
and Chairman Short.
Yes. We'll now consider those pending change orders.
From the backlog of 142 pending change orders, there were 16 change orders remaining to be reviewed. After review by the Appraisal Division, 14 are being recommended for approval. 2 are still pending for further review.
So we are down to 16 in the backlog.
No,
It-
now we're down, after.
No, well, I'm saying, coming into today's meeting,
Yes,
there were 16.
yes.
Did you say
And-
you recommended 16 and 2 were on pending? Because that's 18.
No, after review, well, there were 16 change orders remaining from last week's
Right.
that got approved. And then the Appraisal Division are recommending that 14 be approved.
Okay.
And that'll leave 2 still remaining under pending status for further review.
Which hopefully we'll address next week.
Yes.
What was the 142 you mentioned first?
That was the total number of
The
pending.
original
Yes.
backlog? Okay.
The total,
So now
Yeah.
we're down to just 2 on the backlog?
yes. Well, and there will be the ones
And
that
plus
I
the
add.
37.
Plus 37,
So
yeah.
39.
Right. Yeah, we had 142 pending change orders that were still sitting there. And I had the appraisal staff take it, distribute it to the various locales where these change orders were coming from for review. And we've whittled it down from the 142 down to the 16 today, leaving 14 for approval, 2 are still pending, and then, of course, we have 37 from today. So hopefully, that'll be, 39. So hopefully next week we'll have those 2 addressed for approval, and then hopefully we'll have a number of that 37 also ready for approval.
Perfect.
So it's just trying to get that backlog out
A
and
little more
trying to
timely.
move it along so that these folks don't have to wait forever to get their change order through. So All right, well, I'll accept, unless there's further questions, I'll accept a motion to approve the 14, well, I guess I could make the motion to approve staff recommendation, motion to approve the staff recommendation of 14 pending change orders with 2 remaining on pending status.
Second.
Commissioner Vercher,
Yes.
Commissioner Waxback,
Yes.
Commissioner Wood,
Yes.
Commissioner West,
Yes.
and Chairman Shardy.
Yes. We'll now consider tax sale cancellations.
There are 7 tax sale cancellations for today's meeting. 5 for St. Tammany, 2 erroneously listed, 2 erroneously sold, and 1 dual assessment. And there are 2 for East Baton Rouge, both erroneously sold. Staff has reviewed and recommends that the commission approve all 7 tax sale cancellations.
All right. We have a motion for approval.
Make a motion that we approve the 5 St. Tammany and 2 East Baton Rouge requests for tax sale cancellations as recommended by staff.
Second.
Commissioner Vercher,
Yes.
Commissioner Waxback,
Yes.
Commissioner Wood,
Yes.
Commissioner West,
Yes.
and Chairman Shardy.
Yes. There being no other matters to come before the commission at this time, I will accept a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Commissioner Vercher,
Yes.
Commissioner Waxback,
Yes.
Commissioner Wood,
Yes.
Commissioner West,
Yes.
and Chairman Shardy.
Yes.